Hey guys, it's Sean. Welcome back to Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Thanks for coming, and remember to like and share this video, because we're just a little independent show, and we depend on you to get it out, especially with all the heavy suppression and censorship that's going on today. So thank you, and I really do appreciate it. But what this show is, if you've never seen one before, is a bite-sized conspiracy theory show where we pull back the curtain and spotlight different conspiracies. And it's made to be inclusive and fun for everybody, while maybe learning something along the way. And I'm going to be honest with you guys right up front. This one is going to be a wild ride. And we have always covered anything and everything on this show. And tonight, by request, we are finally going to talk about reptilians. Now, if that's too crazy for you, don't tune out just yet. Stick around, because there are many things out there that may seem crazy, but just how crazy are they really? Let's explore this for a little bit and find out. I mean, think about it. This world we live in, it's filled with deception. Now, how far does that go? Is it possible that everything we believe really is a lie? Is it possible, for instance, that we are sharing this planet with beings from other planets or dimensions? Do alien life forms walk among us? The government is releasing videos of UFOs, so how crazy is it really? Think about that for just a second if you think this topic is too out there. Is anything too out there anymore? So anyways, tonight on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we are going to explore a theory that goes into all of those questions I asked and more, the reptilian theory. So to get us started, just what is the reptilian theory? Well, basically, it is the theory that humanoid reptilians are actually in control of the world from behind the curtain and have been for hundreds of years. You see, these reptilians are believed to be able to hide in plain sight by shape-shifting and taking on human forms to fool the people into believing that they are one of us, but in reality they are not. And they have taken over our planet and rule over us as overlords, and we are nothing more than their slaves, and even worse, a food source for them. Now, over 12 million Americans believe in this theory, and I'm not saying yet whether or not I'm one of them, but I do see why they feel the way that they do, and I also understand the fact that we don't really understand jack shit about our existence. So maybe this is crazy, and maybe it's not. But as always, we're going to look into it anyway, so strap in, guys, and enjoy the ride. Now, there are many schools of thought on the reptilian theory, and it is also heavily muddied with mis- and disinformation. But what I'm going to do here is what I always attempt to do, and just present the story of the reptilian theory as best I can, and then let you make your own decisions. So what I have compiled is just a brief description of the reptilian theory. And as I said, there are several different opinions about it, and even the reptilians themselves specifically concerning where they even came from to begin with. See, some believe that they evolved here on Earth in an ancient civilization, and they then discovered interstellar travel and left the Earth, and since then have returned. Now, others believe that these reptilians' home planet is in the Draco constellations, and that they came to Earth thousands of years ago and took control of our planet and have controlled it ever since, working together with the puppet governments of the world. And even more believe that they are in fact the fallen ones that were cast out from the heavens, that have interbred with humans and angered God, as spoken of in the Bible. So there are many theories on the reptilians' origin, and many cultures' lore throughout time talk about these creatures. And as I said, there are differing opinions about the beings themselves, what they are, who they are, where they're from, but what most agree on is what their agenda is, and what they have done to achieve their hold over our world. So that's where we will primarily focus in this discussion. Now, it is widely believed that the reptilians, whoever they actually are or wherever they actually came from, not only took control of our planet, but also altered human DNA, limiting our ability to use our brains to their full capacity, and putting a limit on our consciousness, making us easier to control. Now, as evidence of this genetic tampering, researchers into this theory will point to the reptilian genes within our own brains. And the researchers in historical records also agree that these beings crossbred with humans, creating a new race. It is said that these human-reptile hybrids were considered demigods and were able to gain great power in the ancient civilizations and then spread that influence and power across the earth. The reptilians have always been in power and have become the elite world leaders and royal bloodlines throughout the world. And by having this power in every single country around the globe, the reptilians have created a global prison that we the people don't even realize that we're all living in. This is the reptilian theory in a nutshell. Do you see what I mean so far? I get it. Replace the word reptilian with Illuminati. Or if you don't like that word either, try replacing it with New World Order, whatever word you want to use for the global cabal. Because it's a fact. We are controlled by evil forces. Most of these conspiracy theories are loaded with truth. Even if the entire thing isn't true, the truth usually lives in the gray areas. And actually, for a theory that most people openly mock, most of the bones of this one are sound. We have been made stupid and lazy by poisoning our food, water, and air, and we have been indoctrinated, not educated, and then even further dumbed down with media, entertainment, music, movies, and politics. And the world is controlled by a global cabal. Evil sociopathic monsters have done all of this to us, and they lord over us from on high, and they might as well be shape-shifting reptilian overlords because the rest of it is all true. So they're monsters nonetheless. But just to recap so far what we have on the reptilian theory. Otherworldly beings of unknown origins actually rule our world and have the ability to alter their appearance and walk among us without us even realizing they're here. And as I touched on, despite the fact that differences of opinion exist on these beings' origins, all camps and legends seem to agree that these beings interfered with human DNA and also interbred with our species, creating alien-human hybrids. And there exists a hierarchy when it comes to the reptilians. There appears to be two classes among the reptilians, full-bloods and crossbreeds. Full-blooded reptilians would be fully aware that they are reptilian and would be the ones truly in power in the world and able to change forms. And they would be the ones at the very top of the pyramid of global control. Crossbreeds would not always even know that they're reptilian, but in status would always be above humans but below full-blood reptilians in the hierarchy, and they would also lack the shape-shifting ability of the full-bloods. But as I said, they would be above the status of a regular human, so usually elevated to a leadership role or celebrity status. Not that the full-bloods don't also pursue those roles. But let's talk a little bit more about the shape-shifting elements of the theory. What is said in this theory about that particular ability of the reptilians? Do they actually physically change form? Well, what is theorized is that the full-blooded reptilians aren't actually shape-shifting at all, but rather altering the vibrations of the human mind to make themselves appear human. They aren't changing their physical presence. They're just changing your perception of them. Now that concept is incredibly fascinating to me, and if you'll forgive me, I want to hover here for just a minute. Think about that. They alter your perception of them. Have you ever seen the movie They Live? This theory and that movie, I think, are both representations of the truth of our reality. Our perceptions are altered. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether or not they are otherworldly shapeshifters. Those that rule us are hiding in plain sight by altering our perceptions. But again, back to the theory. What are the reptilians thought to actually look like? Again, there are many schools of thought on this subject, and we don't have the time to get into all of it. It's very interesting. I encourage you to look it up. But among the full-bloods, it seems to be agreed upon that there are multiple different races. And we're going to go into a few examples here. And that would be the Draconians, who are said to be the alpha race. They can be up to 22 feet tall and are described as being pure muscle with wings. And it's said that they resemble dragons or dinosaurs in skin texture. And then there's the more generic reptilians, also called reptoids, who do not have wings and are much smaller than the Draconians, but still larger than an average human, and they have smooth brown and green skin. And these reptoids are said to be more of the soldier, scientist, worker class of reptilians, the types that would work in top secret government bases and labs or carry out tasks for the draconians. So what do they theorize that these reptilians look like? Scary, basically, and reptilian, as far as true appearance goes, being much larger and probably stronger than a human being in all cases, but frightening as hell in the draconian example. But there are many examples of what these reptile beings are said to look like. And you can look up multiple examples online. I've shared some of them in the background of this video. They've been playing in the background, different versions of what people think that these reptilians look like. So who are some suspected reptilians that are walking among us, you might ask? Well, any famous celebrity and personality are actually suspected of being reptilians. And this includes, of course, all the big names, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the British royal family, and many U.S. presidents, including Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. In fact, even Hillary Clinton is thought to be a reptilian. And even though she'll never get to be president as a human, she is said to be above Bill in the reptilian hierarchy. But both President Bushes are suspected to be reptilians. In fact, the Bushes are kind of an integral part of this particular conspiracy because of how many famous and powerful people are related to them. Now, this is crazy, but according to Ancestry.com, George W. Bush and Obama are 11th cousins, and Dick Cheney is his 9th cousin once removed. Some other blood relatives directly related to the Bushes include Abraham Lincoln, Marilyn Monroe, Pocahontas, Hugh Hefner, John Kerry, Vlad the Impaler, and Princess Diana. You see what I mean? Possibly all of those people are reptilian as well. And not only have the reptilians infiltrated banking, government, and the world's royalty, but they are also some of the most well-known and beloved entertainers. Some examples of that would be Bob Hope, Justin Bieber, Mark Zuckerberg, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. Needless to say, with so many possible reptilian people among us, it makes it hard to trust anyone. Like I said, a crossbreed wouldn't even know that they were a crossbreed. So even you could be a reptilian and not even know it. But let's get around to the big question. What do the reptilians want? And this is probably the biggest question surrounding the reptilian conspiracy. Why would they do it? What do they want? What do they stand to gain? And again, there is much debate to this. One belief is they need our gold and resources to help stabilize the atmosphere of their own planet. Another theory is they just have a need for power and control, and they enjoy living life as rulers. A third and more metaphysical explanation involves the reptilians living in the fourth dimension. And one of the main things the reptilians is try to do is cause human suffering and ensure there is constant conflict. And the reason that they want to do that is because the reptilians actually consume negative energy like jealousy, fear, and anger as a source of food. Of course, this is all theory, and there's not much proof that these giant shape-shifting interdimensional humanoid reptiles that have mastered intergalactic travel even exist. So it's hard to know what their true master plan is, what they look like, where they're from. It's hard to know any of that. But as I was saying, it doesn't even fully matter if they are reptilians. They're monsters either way. But from what I found, what they want, these reptilians, it's only our whole planet, all of its resources, and our blood. You see, in this theory, it's just like the New World Order and the Illuminati. We would be nothing more than slaves and food and fodder to these reptile overlords. Which again, as I said at the beginning of this video, is true whether reptilians are real or not. We are ruled over by monsters, whether reptilian or human, and they do live like gods at our expense. They also feed off us like parasites, and they do keep us in a lower vibrational state. This is all fact. And maybe that's what the reptilian theory really is just another way for them to put the truth in plain sight. Because whether they are truly reptiles or not matters very little to me. There is a they, and they are evil, psychotic monsters. And I covered this particular topic by request, but I'll tell you what, people mock this belief, and I don't see how you can do that. I mean, think about it, and be honest with yourself for half a second. What do you really know for sure? Is it possible that there is more to reality than you can perceive? Yes. The answer to that question and the question before it are both yes. But are there reptilians? I don't really know. I know it's a fascinating topic, and a great researcher to follow for more information on this subject is David Icke. So please check him out to learn more on this because he has tons of great content, goes way into detail on the reptilian conspiracy. In fact, I would have added a video clip of his to this video because he covers it so much better than I could, but I've learned to avoid using video at all costs due to copyright problems on YouTube, especially with truth-related content. So all I can really give you to close this video out is my personal opinion on reptilians. So here goes. In short, I do think that otherworldly beings walk this earth and rule over us, and that they have since the beginning of time. But I believe they are interdimensional beings, or what you may call the fallen angels. I fall into that camp. See, I think it's real, and you can laugh if you want, but these elite bastards that lizard people are not, do lord over us, they think it's real too. I lose a lot of people when it gets to this area and things take a religious turn. But I can't give you my honest opinion on the reptilian theory without doing that. And quite frankly, it shouldn't turn you off that I happen to be a Christian. And trust me, I'll never judge you for your own personal beliefs, but it should deeply concern you that the elite are Luciferian and also heavily into the occult and bringing biblical prophecy to life. So no matter what your personal views may be, their views affect us all, and they very much believe. So yes, the short answer is yes. I do believe there is a lot that we don't understand about this world and our existence, and I usually lean more towards the possibility that it could be real. And I don't know if I fully believe that these beings shapeshift, for example, or that they're lizard-looking. I'd have to see both of those things for myself, but I do believe they exist. And I know for a fact that these cultists that rule over us think that the supernatural is real too. So that leads me to believe that I should at the very least pay close attention, religious or not. But that's just what I think. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you in the comments section. What is your opinion on reptilians? Let me know, and thanks for watching this episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill from me on Things and Stuff. Remember to like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time right here.